UFC Championship fight coming to Perth. An Ultimate Fighting Championship event has been secured for Perth and is expected to attract up to 8,000 interstate and international fans, and inject $7.25 million into the WA economy. The McGowan government delivered on an election promise in June when it lifted a ban on combat sports such as mixed martial arts being held in fenced-in enclosures like the UFC's Octagon. Australian UFC middleweight fighter Robert Whittaker was in Perth on Tuesday as the state government announced it had signed a deal for Perth Arena to host the pay-per-view event on February 11. Mr. Whittaker, who could soon become the first Australian to be crowned UFC World Champion, will learn his opponent on Sunday. Tourism Minister Paul Papalia refused to disclose the contribution taxpayers had made to secure the event. To reveal the price would jeopardize our ability to get other events. You're always in competition with other jurisdictions, he said. We don't want to give them any kind of a leg up. Mr. Papalia claimed the return from tourism and marketing would more than recoup the cost. It's massively valuable to us to get our destination out there to people who may not have thought about coming here, he said. The fight is expected to be watched by 15 million people on pay-per-view. But Australian Medical Association WA President Omar Khorshid said the financial reward was not worth it. It's really not a great message to the community that the government thinks it's reasonable to spend taxpayers' money on a sport where we're watching people being brain damaged, he said. Dr. Khorshid renewed calls to ban the sport, as well as boxing, saying participants had an increased risk of dementia, Parkinson's disease, depression, and anxiety. We hear people complain about video games being violent. Well, a video game is nothing compared to watching someone being pummeled into unconsciousness on the television, he said. But Mr. Whittaker argued athletes had to be top caliber to compete and were protected by the highest safety and medical standards. Originally published as UFC Championship fight coming to Perth.